It has been a season full of twists and turns, and it all reaches a crescendo here tonight as EA Sports so proud to welcome you to the marquee event of the NFL calendar, Super Bowl Sunday. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis, beyond thrilled to be bringing you the Super Bowl, all the pomp, all the circumstance, all the pageantry. It doesn't get any better than this, partner.
I'm loving sharing this booth with you, sharing this moment, this type of a game. For all the teachers who said we'd never make it, we're here.
And we talk these last couple weeks about the build-up, the anticipation. I think these guys are just ready to get out there and get this thing started.
And I know that both coaching staffs have spent considerable time trying to figure out how to best bring their team up to a peak without taking them over the edge and causing a lot of issues early in the game.
And you don't think much of a pregame speech is needed for this one?
I think the pregame speeches were the shortest all year. If they didn't just say, let's go get them, guys, they probably talked too much.
This Super Bowl, of course, just a huge one for this head coach. The first time he's walked the sidelines in a game of this magnitude. And I might normally ask the cliche, what's going through his mind right now? But maybe the better question, CD, what do you think are the pitfalls of being a first-time head coach in this game?
Well, you know it's something that he thought about, Brandon, and he had to, and he was thinking about it long before he got to this stage. As the season progressed and he saw that his team was good, if he was smart, he started to make plans right then and there. Reach out to other coaches who've been there before. Find out how they handle winning, losing, handling all the ticket situations, travel, practice, all those things, and then trust your gut, make your best decision, and put it all out there and give your team their best chance to win. And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open, just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all of their assignments, created a nice gap for the running back to get through, pick up 7 yards. Yeah, he's probably chortling on the headset right now saying, we got it going, boys. Let's keep it going.
From the 29, here's 2nd and 3. Another run here with Benson. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Well, partner, I haven't seen a vote for most popular player on the team. This guy's got to get a lot of votes. He does not care, does he? Totally unselfish, physical runner, doesn't worry about yardage, just keeps moving the chains, being a team player.
Out of the gun, here's Murray. That's caught by Gabriel Davis. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Throwing now is Murray. Caught by Wilson. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Michael Wilson from 21 yards away. And the Cardinals are on the board first here in this Super Bowl. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. The Cardinals set now to kick this one away, and off we go. And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 right at the 30. They'll try and start this drive in the air. His throw taken in by Isaiah Likely. And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the first down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Give them 32 on the play. So that about the shortest pass a quarterback can make, but it winds up going for a bundle.
Yeah, let's face it, in the stats, it sure looks like a heck of a throw, doesn't it? It's almost like in baseball when you get that little Texas leaguer that turns into a double. You would think that you hit it off the wall. Big-time play for him on a short little pass.
Now Jackson. He'll dump that one off to Mitchell. They'll wind up getting just a yard, and it's second down. Jackson going to change things up a bit. Up the middle, here's Mitchell. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down. So hang on, a big call coming on 3rd down. Now, if you're going to get rid of it, you better get outside the pocket.
Yeah, you have to get outside of that tackle-to-tackle box, right? Get out there, and then you can do it legally, but he wasn't able to do so, and they end up losing the down as well.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Here's the kick unit now for the Ravens as they'll send this one away. And that one going to hop into the end zone, and it'll come out to the 20. Shotgun now for Murray. A short throw to Ingram. So he stopped for no gain. And it's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Murray now. And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
Every time we talk with people about the most important quality for a quarterback to have in the NFL, what do they usually cite?
Arm strength.
Yeah, and that's really way down on the list. Accuracy is one of the bigger ones, maybe the foremost one. That's what he needed on that play.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Now Murray. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
And this is what you want to see from a defense. Give up an opening drive touchdown, that's fine. But how about them going back out there, recommitting themselves to the task at hand, and forcing a 3-and-out and giving the ball back to their offense?
So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They trailed early on in his Super Bowl as they come up 1st and 10. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
From the 38 now, here comes 2nd and 8. Throwing is Jackson. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. His 2nd catch of the Super Bowl, and it's good enough for a 1st down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't it?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side. St. Brown in motion right. Right back to Mitchell on 2nd down.
And he'll take this one down to about the 40.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. They go play action now. Jackson rolling to his right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Call it a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up 4th down now. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And that ball's going to angle out at the 3-yard line. A beauty. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a 1-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
2nd down and 8. Here's Murray. A short throw to Ingram. And he's taken down, but able to get this up to the 20-yard line. A lot still to go here in Super Bowl 61. We have reached the end of 1 quarter of play. We'll be back in just a moment. It's the Cardinals off to the early lead. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So the previous play, a big help, as now they'll have it 1st and 10 up at the 20. Kyler going to give this to Benson. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
Running out of the gun here with Benson. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. It's a gain of 7 on the ground. 2nd down coming up.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the clock. No hurry before you run your 2nd down play.
In motion left is Wilson. To throw, it's Murray. And that is caught. It's Davis. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. His second catch of the Super Bowl, and it's good enough for a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
A couple of first downs have him to the 40 now on 1st and 10. Murray now to throw. And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Oh, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's second down.
It certainly looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Here's 2nd and 10. A give up the middle with Benson. And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Now play number 7 of this drive, but it's a tough 3rd and 9. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And he is going to have a Cardinals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
On first down, it's Benson. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
But if you're going to have a relay race, you're probably going to pick your backs and receivers to run it, but don't underestimate the conditioning of the offensive line. They're out there just dictating things, staying on the field, and keeping a long drive going.
They'll go again with Benson. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
Here's Murray. And that nearly intercepted. Well, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. But instead, it's 4th down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Now Lamar changing the play. Here's Jackson to throw. Likely hauls in the quick slant. And he's going to be touched down, but he's got the first down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary.
To the right side and intercepted. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Before we came up to the booth, Last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. After the turnover, here's Murray. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
Now it's 2nd and 10. To throw is Murray. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Murray going to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Evan Ingram, 34 yards. And the Cardinals continue to look good here in the first half of this Super Bowl. Point after, right down the middle. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And it's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts. And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
And he'll get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
From the 47, it's 2nd and 5. From the gun, Jackson checks this one down. It's Mitchell. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Here is 3rd down and 4. Jackson. That is caught. And he will have a Ravens 1st down, although it doesn't appear to be by much. He needed 4, and he got 4 on 3rd down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Jackson. To the right side, it's caught by Mitchell. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd down.
Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On first down, they go back to Mitchell. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Now flags come in. I think one of the Ravens got going a little early. And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. To throw is Jackson. And he'll throw this one away. I don't think he's out of the pocket. No, here comes the flag. We saw it too. Nobody in the vicinity of that throw, and that earns him the penalty.
Yeah, you've got to at least get it close enough to one of your own guys in order to dodge the penalty.
So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose a down on the grounding call. Jackson from the shotgun steps away. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And right now, their chances of hoisting that Lombardi trophy, not looking too great, but perhaps that long halftime, maybe it did them a world of good.
But if there's ever a chance to regroup, it's in this game, right? Because you do have that long halftime, a chance to really assess things and maybe make some changes and true adjustments. They've played great all year long. That was the worst first half of the season for them. They're hoping to put it behind them and come out punching here in the second half.
Now Jackson going to shift him around.
No, we changed it.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Escaping the pressure right. And his throw here's incomplete.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break contain and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
2nd and 10. A shotgun handoff to Mitchell. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From midfield now, here's Jackson. Here's Mitchell with a catch out of the backfield. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Boy, a call like this, certainly tougher to make in a Super Bowl, but they'll go for it on 4th down. Now it's Jackson. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Ravens go for it, but come up empty. And it'll be a turnover on downs. They run over center with Benson. 40 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
From the 35, back to work on 2nd and 4. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. Throwing now is Murray. Open man here is Benson. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. So no gain on the play. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3.
Brandon, you know this is going to be discussed because this is the fear of all the backs when they run this type of a route. They've got to find the football, and sometimes they don't see the defender. And in this case, he took a pretty good shot for his efforts, but give him credit, able to hold on to the football.
From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is going to have a Cardinals 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
On the give, it's Benson. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They'll run for the 1st time here with Brian Robinson. And he'll take this one inside the 10, down to the 8. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. Now Murray. He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Michael Wilson, his 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Cardinals will extend their 3rd quarter lead here in this Super Bowl. The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is up to 18 now. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
From the gun, it's Jackson. Being chased out left. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
Has not been a big game for him throwing the football. I think he feels like, let's try something different. Let's use the legs here and see if we can make some plays.
And no passing touchdowns, yardage not where he would like it. Try something new, it worked there. Throwing is Jackson. Looking right side, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mack Wilson. And the Cards are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. This defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either. Blanketed the field going all the way back to the opening drive, and they come up with a pick right there.
Play fake. Murray. He finds his man, complete. It's Benson. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
2 yards to go, second down. Here's Murray. Open man is Marvin Harrison Jr. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. A handoff here to Benson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Murray now. And Davis with it left side. Will go down as a gain of 6. And now it's 3rd and 3.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Murray now to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 19. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4. And that'll do it for the third quarter of Super Bowl 61. The culmination of the season and the crowning of a champion after the fourth quarter, which is coming up next. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. 2nd and 6. A give left side for Benson. And able to surge forward for about 5 yards down to the 10.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Trey Benson from 10 yards out. And the Cardinals are starting to pour it on the game's biggest stage. They are running away with this Super Bowl. Extra point right down the middle. And they open the lead up now to 25. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Kevontae Turpin now from his end zone. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And it's becoming more and more apparent that this is just not going to be their night. That Lombardi trophy so close, but the expectations simply have not matched the results as they start on this drive, 1st and 10. Now Jackson. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Jackson now. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run, the best runs for the top running back.
Oh, for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. And the Cardinals are going to get the football back at their own 17. Well, offensively, Charles, hard to put a silver lining on this one. No secret that they had to take chances with a score where it is, and it leads to a turnover.
I love how you paint the picture, partner, because you're exactly right about that one. Look at the empty stairs on that sideline. This is one of those games we just want to go crawl under a rock until it's over.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. A give. Here comes Benson. And no luck at all to start this drive as they're going to drop him behind the line for a 2nd straight play. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit too.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And their Super Bowl hopes are dwindling here in the 4th. That AFC crown from 2 weeks ago starting to seem like a distant memory. And this one just has not gone as they had hoped. Now throw right side here going to be incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now it's Jackson. Over the middle, complete. That's Peters. And he'll be down at the 46. So they go from 146 to the other on a pickup of 8. The offense on third down tonight, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And that's one of those where it feels like backyard football in a sense. You say, forget about the route. Just run to the open spot in the middle of the field, and I'll find you. Good throw, good concentration on the catch, and they pick up the first down.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Cards are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. They exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And, Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision can get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of extending a play is sometimes your receivers find their way open, but oftentimes you end up closing down part of the field and bringing those defenders to the ball, and that one was picked off.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And they are trying to play it cool down on the sidelines, but they know that they are very close now to wrapping this thing up and letting the celebration begin. A Super Bowl title within reach now as they try to polish this thing off. Ball spotted at the 45. Here's a 2nd and 7. Now it's Benson. And he stopped immediately there. And his carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
On third down, here's Benson. And to the 46 he goes and no further. So he is well short of the first down marker. Just a yard on the run there. That's going to bring us to a 4th down. Here comes the Cardinals punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and they will take over 1st and 10. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. And he ran right through one tackle as he fights forward for a gain of 7.
I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, let's see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going. And also, you motivate your offensive line. I think they're in the mood to fire out and hit someone.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. From the 25, here's 2nd and 3. Another run with Mitchell. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the 4th quarter. Let's rely more on the passing attack.
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try and find some targets in the open field downfield.
5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. On the ground with a tight end. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Now a pause, and there's an injured Raven in need of some assistance. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. 2nd and a couple. They hand off to their big tight end. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
And the Cardinals have done it. They're the kings of the NFL. Arizona, your Super Bowl champs. And when this moment comes, I think you look back at all the blood, sweat, and tears, the offseason, the workouts, training camp, week 1, 2, 3, all building up now to say you're a Super Bowl champion. It's worth it.
It certainly is, and rarely do we have a team that hoists a Lombardi trophy that didn't have their share of bumps along the way, didn't have to face some adversity in the journey, and now they get to just enjoy it and revel in it. And all offseason, they'll be signing their autographs with Super Bowl champion underneath it.
Commissioner Goodell on the podium, set to present that Lombardi trophy to the Arizona Cardinals, champions of Super Bowl 61. So that wraps things up for another incredible season of the NFL on EA Sports. So for my partner Charles Davis, for Mike and Greg, Kate and Brock, and our entire crew of hundreds, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Good night from Southern California.